Yo, I'm just like messing around today. I'm probably gonna like not stream. I mean, you could ask about coding stuff, but I'm just having fun today, Friday night. I was like so busy at work, and so I decided to like just hang out. I actually suck at music, so I'm just gonna play around a little bit, mess around a little bit. But definitely would love to keep talking to you. So let me know in the chat if you want to hang out or not. But if you don't want to hang out, that's perfectly fine too. By the way, I'm not good at music, so I'm just gonna try some random stuff. I know it's Friday night, but if you want to say hello, you could say hello. It's like very bad coding music. Hey, Andrew, what's up? It's just gonna be like you and me. It's great. Yeah, I got this push, and I've been like trying to kind of like learn music. It was one of my things that I was kind of like, okay, you work hard, you code all the time, you need a hobby, you need something like different that you can do. So I was like, you know what? Let me try to like get into some music. So, and definitely ask questions. I'm gonna try something different. I wasn't gonna stream tonight, so this is like unscheduled stream. So welcome. You can ask questions. So by the way, I'm still learning music, and so it's just hang out, fun, and have a conversation. So I'm gonna try some stuff, mess around. But yeah, man, that was a good stream today with John. Always fun when we do those. Yeah, the cool thing about push, like you could put stuff in keys, so you could like randomly hit stuff and it sounds cool. Like, and I really like this riff. Oh no, man. I had it better the first time. Yeah, I should record, like mess around. But yeah, so having fun today. I was like, I don't know, want to code on a Friday night, but I do want to hang out. And I've been like trying to get into the hobby, like playing some music and stuff, hang out. Let me know in the chat, like what hobbies you have. I think it's important. I think for a big part of my life, I focus so much on work, study, work. I think it's necessary. But at the same time, it's like I've never like allowed time for myself. And I don't know if it's like the best thing to do where you just, hustle culture where you just work. And the truth is like, you have to enjoy life a little bit. So I'm like, let me try to learn music. And at the same time, we could hang out. By the way, I don't know if this drum beat makes sense or not. Let me it's so funny. Like I can't talk and type at the same time. So forget it. Like I won't be able to like play. This time you can see your keyboard. That's awesome. Yeah. No, this thing is cool. And so like I'm in major scale in E minor, not E minor. What am I saying? I don't even know. If someone knows music, definitely give me some tips. But I'm just gonna again just hang out on the stream. You're more than welcome to stay, and I'm looking at the chat, so if people have some questions, but let me know. But I'm just gonna hang out, and if people come and go, that's cool. It's Friday night anyway, we just want to have fun. Yeah, I don't even know what I want to do. Sometimes like the interesting thing about like learning like coding or even music, it's easy to like, okay, let me look at tutorial, let me like have fun, let me do this, let me do that. But a lot of times just messing around and trying some weird stuff. And a lot of times just like failure and fail publicly, which is some people be like, hey, you shouldn't show like embarrassing stuff of yourself. And I agree with that. You probably shouldn't show embarrassing stuff, but why not hang out? Yeah, I think it's something like that. So does it show you the notes there? Trying to see where you said it was in E minor. So over here, I'm able to select the scale, but it doesn't show you the exact note. And yes, I did see your email. I have to respond to it. The reason I didn't respond, to be honest, like right away, it's because you wrote like an amazing email. It was like super long, and I needed to like literally like process and think about it, because I do want to reach out to you, and you should definitely join our community. I will actually, if I didn't add you to the community, I will add you to our community, Hegishiku. I'm so bad at pronouncing, but yeah, no, I definitely got your email. It was actually very like touching, and that's why I didn't respond right away, because like I'm kind of like, my God, I have to like think about it. But yeah, no, glad to have you here. Yeah, so this thing like doesn't show the notes, and I'm still learning how to use the push. And it's just like I try to go by feel. I'm like, oh, does this sound good? No, that doesn't sound good. So I don't know, I'll record something, then I'll figure out something. No, that doesn't sound good. Try again. Nope, that's bad. It's like funny. It's like under pressure, you're like, oh, it's like when you have no pressure. This is actually an interesting observation. Like when you have no pressure, right? And you're like coding on your own, you're doing like things on your own, and no one's watching you. The anxiety to perform is not there. And so what you tend to do, you tend to perform better. But when you're under pressure and people are watching you, or you're doing stuff publicly, you know, people will be like, it's actually hard, which is kind of funny. What's up, Luke? We're doing something different today. I'm completely making an ass out of myself by showing how I don't know how to make music, but I got this beat that I created already, and I'm trying to. Yeah, let's try that. Let me turn my metronome on so I could know what's going on. And my mic is in my way, so I can't see. I don't know. I just like the lights. And then we like, I don't know what else we need to put, like some. That's kind of cool. But anyway, like the one thing I decided, listen, like you only live once. So why not try all the different interests you have? And even if you fail, you know, it's like, it's perfectly fine. Who cares? It's like, you get better by practicing. And what I like is, you know, being part of the community and just being able to do stuff in the group, regardless if it's coding, if it's like doing music, if it's doing something else. That doesn't work. Need beats, man. This is going cool. Yeah, no, for sure. Actually, let me like try to do something from scratch. I'll use the same instruments because I like this, but I'm gonna delete this. And we could like see what's happening here. Delete. Okay, let's turn the metronome back on. We'll start with like some beat. These are like kind of all the sounds of the drums. That's kind of cool. I'm gonna pick a different scale too. Something that, I don't know, is easier to play. And it's like mostly me fumbling because I'm like, what the hell am I doing? I don't even know. I was in the wrong thing. I'll do like minor scale. Minor is always cool. And we'll go with, I don't know, minor. We can go C minor. It's like so common. Yeah. Yeah, that's true, Andrew. There's definitely so many correlations between code and music. One that is being 100% all about experimental. And this is like what I like. Like, I love the fact that with code, you could try stuff out and get feedback. And then you could try stuff like, you know, in real, like in music, same thing. Like, for instance, I don't know like what I'm doing, but I'm not going to let it stop me. That's so, like, so basic. No, but this was more interesting. These sounds are like more interesting. That's kind of cool. Oh, missed the beat on that one. Yeah, create, delete, good start. That's the secret to everything. It's you try, you delete it, you try again, you delete it again, and then eventually something's gonna be like kind of makes sense. I don't know if yeah, exactly. It's like coding and music. I just like, it's like I'm like the random number generator when it comes to making music. Try random stuff. And then see what happens. But no, definitely love to chat with you. And listen, if this is boring, I get it. Today I'm just having a little bit fun. I don't know. What were you? Oh, that's nice. That's like, sounds like someone's moving furniture. Hey. That sounds kind of interesting. What else we have? What other instruments we have? And yeah, if you guys and girls have any questions about anything, definitely we could chat about it. This is like the super classic pattern. We could start with that. That's pretty nice. I think these are like the same chords for that song. Yeah, this is a very popular chord progression. I think that song for whatchamacallit, oh god, the name is oh my god, The Weeknd. He has a song that has this progression. Do you record yourself? I hate when I come up with something that I really like during a session, forget to record it, and then have to recollect. So this is interesting. This is why I want to do these music live stream, even though like anyone who wants to join me or not, that's fine. But it's just so I have a record of like kind of like what I've been playing with and messing with. And so I'm kind of like, you know what? Let's try this. Oh, whoa, that's like too high. No, I don't know if that makes sense. I think that's like too high for that instrument. You're too good, Brian. Hold on, I think this is like too powerful right here. You gotta chill it down a little bit. Yeah, and then like go back somewhere here. Brian should give me like some good tips. He's like a real musician. Hold on, make that higher. Whoa. People are like, what the hell's happening with Coding After 30? He lost his mind. What is he doing? I'm just exploring music today. I think it's kind of fun. I don't know, we'll do that. I don't like that. The matching them going so I could get my like, people like, what is going on? This is not about coding. You could ask coding questions, by the way. But the whole point that I decided like once in a while I'll take a break. Once a month, maybe I'll do like one of these like musical streams unscheduled, just for fun. And again, if anybody wants to join and chat, that's cool. If not, that's cool too. I got the timing wrong. What the cool thing I like is kind of like interesting here. There's this repeat function. That's too fast. That makes like drumming like so much more interesting. delete this, try again. Yeah, I messed up my timing again. Brian, how you doing, man? And it's just like a random number generator. That's how we make music here. We just try a bunch of random stuff. And then it's like, maybe it's gonna sound like something. I don't know. But it's pretty cool, like, you know, like it's like a great way to relieve stress is to play some music. Yeah, by the way, like if you're joining in and like what the hell's happening, there's no remix happening right now, meaning remix.js and coding, because it's Friday night and I just wanted to hang out, you know, and chill. We could like see like some of the other songs that I made before. We could like see which ones are really bad and which ones are okay. I bet you guys know that I love 80s sound and like that same sound as like, what the hell's that show? Stranger Things? But this chord progression is just so cool. So many songs borrow it. It's like that was off. Yeah, so this is still Coding After 30 channel. If you're just surprised, like what the hell's happening, we're just having fun today. Little messing around. So I picked up this hobby of learning music. I'm kind of like, I'm definitely a beginner. If this sounds cool, it's not me. It's this cool thing I have called the Push 2 for Ableton. And it just makes everything so easy. But it's pretty nice. It's funny, like this is more popular than watching me code. This is embarrassing. Like Friday nights, it's all about, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Looks awesome. You and Josh Milker could start a band. I don't even know if he play. Like I didn't even listen. I've been friends with him for such a long time, and I've never even asked him if he plays anything. But I'm still learning. Yeah, let's try to find another instrument. I wonder if I have like any like other songs we could load. I have some really bad songs. I don't even remember which ones I did. Don't save this one. But actually, like, you know, we'll see like what we have. This is actually like pretty fun. I try to like whenever I create a song, like I'll put like day 1 or day 2 of creating music, day 3, and then what's cool is like kind of seeing the difference in the progress like you make. Yeah, that dude probably does rock out. Did you see his sick tattoo? He actually said he was getting more like tattoo stuff done on his arm, which is pretty interesting. I'm trying to figure out like what song is this. I have so many bad like things that I made. Oh, this was like my remix for Dr. Dre or one of them. Hold on. I wonder. I don't think I have the vocals. I have to have it somewhere. I don't have it. Yeah, I wonder. Hold on. I wonder if this has the vocals. Oh, it's a different song. Not a school. That was pretty interesting. Yeah, it's so awesome. It's so funny. Like, I'm like never gonna be like a professional musician for sure, and I don't even care like who listens. But I just like pressing buttons and messing around with stuff. Oh, hold on a second. Something. Oh, yeah, we could probably do something with that. I don't know. That I'm not feeling that, but we'll mess around. And yeah, if you wanna, I don't know what scale I'm in. Oh, I see why. There's some songs that I like. One of the coolest songs I like is the theme song for Terminator, the movie. And like my dream is to make like a kick-ass remix for that for like of that song. I think I tried. I'm gonna see if I could find it. Oh, I'm so bad at naming stuff. I will never find it. I name stuff so terrible. What is this one? I don't even remember this one. Don't save. Oh, this one doesn't even have anything. Yeah, I kind of like don't remember. I'm trying to find some of the stuff I already made. Oh, that's too loud. Let me make it quiet so I can hear. I don't know. This is not that good. This like reminds me of a song that used to be similar to this one. This is like super bad. I'm just trying to find something that could be cool of some of the older stuff that I worked on. A lot of my stuff is just so bad. So bad. But it's okay. Whoa, that sounds cool. That's so it's just so nice. Man, like I think it's like just nice to try new things, you know, and experiment. And again, those of you who are joining right now and watching me fail at music, thank you. But you know, I'm glad that you're here and having fun. This is like something that like I made, which is really proud of. This is kind of like cool little tune. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably heard this one. I'm not gonna like play this live, but maybe I will. So like sometimes like I have these strokes of where I make something and it's like, oh, that doesn't sound like half as bad. I know there's so many people disappointed right now. They're like, Paul is not coding. It's like, what is he doing? Yeah, it's like, we're going to come back to code. And by the way, we're going to have a cool stream tomorrow. We're going to have somebody here talking about learning to code, some good strategies of how to code and stuff like that. But today, we're just hanging out, having fun. It's probably going to go for like a little bit. But this one I was like really proud of. And I really like the drum beat on this one. But I figured like every weekend I'm gonna spend a little bit of time like doing some music stuff. Yeah, you know, and then maybe one day I'll get better. But there's something cool like what I like about music. Like I don't really care about like notes. I don't really care about like is it right? Is it not right? Because it probably isn't. I just like when you touch a note and you hear the sound and it like brings like some emotion, you know, and you're kind of like, oh, this is kind of cool. I like this feeling. And you just go by feel, you know, like I think it's pretty awesome. But you know, oh, by the way, I was working on Remix, not like Remix Music, but Remix JS, and I created this cool app. And then I wanted to like share it and show it, and then the app broke. I was so disappointed. But maybe before we get back to music, let me see if I could show you what I've been working on real quickly, and then we'll come back to the music because people are excited about code sometimes. What's up, everybody? Like, it's so funny, like watching people coming and going. It's like they jump on and then like, oh, this is horrible, and then they leave. But actually, like, let me know in the chat if any one of you, yeah, music is so subjective. That's true. And 100%, Andrew, I agree with you. If you make something sound that makes you smile, then you're on the right track. And that's kind of like my barometer of kind of being like, how does this make me feel? Am I happy with it? Like, do I like it? And it's pretty cool. I've actually like created like, couple of different songs that like I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. There used to be like this app, or there is an app on your iPad called Gadget too, which is pretty awesome. And I was like so blown away, like the music that you could create on trying to like type on the wrong keyboard. Actually, like if I go to my Instagram, I could probably, oh, I have to log in. Are you gotta kidding me? I could show you some of the like songs I've made in the past. Some of them were made with like my iPhone. Some were made with using FL Studio. Some were made with Ableton. If I could log into my Instagram, it's been like forever. Not now. The craziest thing about Instagram, like you never get to see any of your friends anymore. You always get like this random stuff. Oh, but yeah, hold on. Let me share my screen for a second. Hold on. Let me move this here. I made this cat commercial. There's a video for it, but it's pretty funny. This is... So weirdly, I have an Instagram. This is actually like a pretty cool thing. I wonder if like you'll hear the volume. Oh, my computer is like failing me right now. Come on. Oh, it's too loud. Oh, I think it's gonna have like issues too. I've never tried actually playing stuff from my computer. Yeah, that's going to be terrible. Never mind. I take it back. We won't share stuff. But here's the funny thing. It's not even on this computer. I was working on a project, and I was so happy because I got it to work. Right? I got the project to work, Netlify, and then it failed on me, and I was like so upset. But I'm learning Remix, and one of the coolest things about Remix is that you could do a lot of stuff without using too much state, which is kind of cool. So it breaks here, and I don't know why. Let me go try to troubleshoot, and it's already deployed. Like locally, I know I could run it, but I don't know why it's breaking. But I don't know if you've ever got to try. This is like one thing somebody told me about this, Daisy UI, and this is actually pretty cool. This sits on top of Tailwind, and you have these cool components. And what's awesome about it, this is like the coolest part about this. Like if you go see components, you go to themes, they have all these different themes. And what I like, it's like it'll change and use the theme that you're trying to use, and it'll show you how those components would look like. So this is Daisy UI for Tailwind. And what's awesome is you could actually create your own themes. And what I like, I'll sit here and I'll click the, I clicked the random button too quick, because this was, yeah, that's kind of cool. So if you haven't tried Daisy UI, it's pretty awesome. But I wanted to show you like the project that I made, but I don't think I'm gonna get it to work. Let me see if I could see in DigitalOcean what is happening with it. Oh my gosh, my cat found like a big butterfly because I have or fly, or I don't know what kind of bug it is. It's pretty huge and scary. And my cat saw it and she's like trying to attack it. And I think she's gonna get it. Um, no, you can't see my cat, but she's never mind. I was gonna show you the cat. Anyway, this stream is like devolving to whatever. But here we go. Simon says, I've heard music and coding uses similar parts of the brain. Maybe it has to do with pattern creation. Cool stuff. Yeah, no, I think that's kind of awesome. I think it's definitely, there's definitely something, because a lot of the developers that I know, especially front-end developers, I probably like back-end developers too. A lot of them, like, they're very musically inclined. They either play an instrument or they mess around with stuff. So that's kind of cool. So hold on, I'm trying to like figure out if I could get my app to work that I built so I could show you. I use my other computer. I don't have it on this one. So, my gosh, my cat's going crazy for that fly. It's okay. They want to eat it. No, you can't eat it. No, you can't eat it. You can't. Where did it go? Okay, never mind. I had to help my cat, and oh my God, it got it. It got the fly. Sorry. This is like my cat just killed the big bug. Anyway, this live stream, that's why it's unscheduled, because we don't know what's going on. What's up, everybody? If you're just jumping in, we're just messing around. I was trying to play music, and now I just wanted to share with everybody using. I just discovered Daisy UI, which is kind of cool. And if you've never used Daisy UI, what's really awesome about it, they have this random theme generator, and you could create like really cool colors, really cool components that they have here. Let me see, use, okay, custom components. Okay, where was it? Daisy UI, C components. And they have like cool stuff like that you could use. And if you're using Tailwind, this works really well. I set it up both on Remix project. I set it up, here's a carousel that they have here. I set it up on a Remix project, but I wanted to kind of showcase that, but I think I broke it in the when I was messing around with it. But let me see if I could log into my DigitalOcean here off screen and try to figure out what broke. I think like, I know what happened. I'm just gonna guess. Is that because I quickly set up the application to just kind of like learn. Oh my God. Why doesn't it? Oh, I see. I'm in a whole different browser here. So, my God, I have to find my phone to double log in authentication. Anyway, I'll figure it out later. But anyway, how's everybody doing? Let's go back to watch me make some mess around with music maybe later. I'm so upset that it doesn't. I need to hold on a second. I have an idea. I have like too many logins and stuff like that. But I want to figure out, what is happening. That this is something different that I was looking up. Actually, yeah. I think Andrew was talking about Zustand, and I've never used it, so I kind of like wanted to check it out to kind of see how cool it is. It's like actually pretty interesting. It was like a very good recommendation. So I'm like, you know what? That's awesome. Yep. Yeah. So my app broke. So I have to figure out why. Server runtime. This server. I wonder if I like click. Redeploy. I don't think like redeploy will fix it, to be honest. I think it won't fix it. I think I have like so the front end, it's when you go to get the data, something breaks. So I have to figure this out. So it's gonna be a moment. But how's everybody's Friday night? How are you all doing? Yeah, this is like I wasn't gonna stream tonight, but then I was like, you know what? I'll play around with my music thing that I have here that I could like do stuff with, and then I was like, you know what? I'll keep it kind of nice and relaxing, hang out, and then maybe I'm like, oh, maybe you could see the app. I think need my phone. 1 second. Yeah, I'm trying to log in to my DigitalOcean because I wanted to show you like this new app I was working on, and I don't know why it broke. It's but like the rule of thumb is whenever you're doing something live or want to show someone, expect stuff to break. So let's retry. Let's figure it out. My goodness. GitHub. Let me in into GitHub. Come on, approve. Okay. Let me into DigitalOcean. Let's see. The app seems to be working. Let's go to my app. Let's log in. Yeah, I'm just logging in off screen first. But what's pretty cool is I have a application. Like I'm using Strappy on the back end, and what's cool, I'm able to power like multiple applications. So I have my website that I'm powering, this like events project that I'm trying to work on. So here, I'll move it here. This is my back end, content manager, events. So this all looks fine. I wonder where it's failing. This is kind of interesting. This looks fine. I'm actually going to like delete all the data and see what will happen when I go to my front end here. Invalid URL. Probably broke something. So events. That's not from the data. That's something else I did. It's so funny because I didn't install this remix. No, it's not remix. What the hell did I call it? Yeah, it should be remix something. Remix Strappy, backend, remix backend. Remix project 1. This is the one that I'm working on. So I was working on my other computer, and I might have did something and then pushed the changes that broke it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it locally and then see if I could troubleshoot what's happening. Copy. And then maybe I'll go play some music too. But I'm like curious now that what the hell broke in my thing. City temp. Oh my God. It already exists. Cd temp ls middlewares not make directory git clone. Yeah, so we're gonna see if we could troubleshoot it for fun. Looks great. Can you use Daisy UI with Angular? Just finished my first work week as a dev and starting to learn. Man, that's awesome. Congratulations. And it's whole different beast compared to React. Yes, 100%. To be honest, I don't have any good experience with Angular except knowing that it exists. I might have tried it once a long time ago. I know so much has changed. So I'm not sure, but I'm assuming it shouldn't matter because it's based on Tailwind and it's literally HTML. It's not React specific. So I think like you should be able to do it. I mean, we could like Google it also to figure it out. I should probably email myself my env variable. Yeah, I wonder why my like what I broke in my application. Hold on, let me make this bigger too, by the way. Oh, damn it. Oh, I forgot to check what version of Node I was using. 14.9. Let me ls rf node, and then nvm use 16 yarn reinstall. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I could troubleshoot my application, see what happens. It's so funny. Like I was gonna like, let me just chill and play some music, and then when I saw my app that I was working on wasn't working, I'm like, okay, now I'm mad. Now I gotta figure it out. Figure out why it's not working. But yeah, yeah, I need an env file here. I do have it here, so that should work because I did save it. Let me see if I could run it because it should use yarn dev. So it's interesting. It seems that it builds amazingly. And so let's bring it here. Yeah, so this is the Remix application I've been working on. And basically it's to allow you to manage events. So I should be able to add an event test. But I was wondering why the deployed version wasn't working. Let's put whatever image. Do you have any good images? Cats, screenshots. Need to get more images, whatever. I'll just put this JPEG of this weird dish that looks so amazing. Test. So submit. And let's see. So that works. That's fantastic. So that's cool. What's interesting about this form submission, like on my form, I don't have any state. It's kind of cool how Remix handles that. We could take a look. So I wonder why the deployed branch is not working. Like it literally is working locally, but I'm pointing to my Strappy instance. Like if you could see, where did I put my Strappy instance? So did I close it? Where is it? Yeah, so if you go, didn't I? Yeah, so if you look here, remember this is deployed on DigitalOcean. Oh, let me make it bigger. No jokes there. And now if I refresh, you could see the data that I was able to generate from my front end appeared. And so like, I'm really curious why the deployed version is not working and what's breaking it. So I'm trying to figure out. I guess I could like put my face now that I'm not playing music anymore. It's so hot in Texas today. I have my door open, just chilling. Yeah, we played a little bit of music today. That's cool. Let me put away. Now I'm like more excited about like, let's take a look at code. Just chilling. Do we have lights? Yes. Oh my God, too bright. Whoa. Oh, so I wasn't gonna like stream coding, but listen, you can't take the code out of me. So, I mean, so this is kind of interesting. So it works here. And this is the cool part. Like this is a deployed API that I have done with Strappy, and I'm able to easily manage the data here. I even have some of my posts here. And this website is not done, so it looks horrible. But if you go to codingafter30.com, this is another thing that I'm working that's in progress. And this is like a little blogging website. What's interesting about this particular website is if you read more, you have all these different components that you have. Like you have your code, you have like your video. And so if you go and take a look at the content manager in Strappy, like let's say I want to, so let me see if this one's published. So this is like an interesting thing with Strappy. Let me do is that you could create custom components. So what I'm able to do is I could add markdown, right? I could add an image. You know, I have one for video that I created. And what happens is when I publish this, it's going to go inside my code when it gets this data and it checks, is it a markdown component? Is it an image component? Is it a whatever component? And it's going to render that. Oh, it needs to rebuild because this is statically generated. So it's not going to show up right now. So, okay, never mind. We're going to wait for it. But you'll be able to see different components. So now you could have a blog of like whatever you want, code, you know, text, images, and you could put them in whatever order you want, and it's going to reflect in your front end. But anyway, the cool part about this is that this website, Coding After 30, is being powered by my Strappy application, which is awesome because I could manage my content. And then the website that I'm currently working on, this one, is also powered by that same Strappy app. And I kind of like that flexibility of having one API and being able to serve that data to multiple places. Is it me or your voice is not very loud? Maybe, I don't know, let me know. It sounds pretty loud to me, but maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe I was not talking to the, maybe I was talking to the mic more. Yeah, so but that's kind of cool. But anyway, back to this part. So locally, my application is not failing. But here's like the cool part about Remix is how easily you're able to have nested routes, right? So for instance, when we go to events, if you don't have any selected events, it will show the index page. If I will select an event, it will show the event that I selected. There's also a way if, let's say, something doesn't exist, like I don't think this exists, so this should take me to like not found page. I didn't, you know, no, thanks, Sharon. Sounds fine. I didn't do this page, but it's so cool how easily you're able to create nested routes. And I'll show you in code here real quick. So this is our main app folder, and we have everything in routes. So if we take a look here, we have our index page, and the index page is basically the main page you see when there's no URL after events, no parameter provided. So this is what you see. This is the index page. So if you're here and you click events, you go to that index page that I showed you here, and then it will display this. I lied to you guys and girls. So the index page is the main page that you land on, right? And here you are. And because this is file-based routing, for every file you put in here is going to be a route. So if I wanted to create, let's say, new file, I meant to spell test.jsx, and let's create like just whatever component here. You don't even have to name it, but extra bracket here. And we don't need this. So I just literally inside my routes created a test.jsx page. And so that will automatically become a route. Yeah, so this is the site I've been working on, Remix. And so I'm just trying to get the most general functionality. First, I started learning with routes. So now, like, check this out. If I go test, it takes us to that page right there. You see test, which is kind of cool. So you're able to easily create routes just by putting them inside here. Now, if I wanted to have a nested route in here, I would literally create another folder, and I won't do it for test, but notice how we have our events, and inside events, we have our outlet. And if I want to create a nested route that will be rendered here where this outlet is, all I have to do is create a folder with events. So let's kind of walk through this. So if I go straight to events, not adding additional parameters, it will show us the links. And then if there's no parameters provided for this outlet, if we look in our events, it's going to show the index page. So hello events, and this is index route. So if I go back, what's up, Walter? Hey, everybody. And I go back to events, hello events, and refresh. So here you are. This is the index route. So if there's no parameters provided, this is what it's going to show. Now, if I click this link, it's going to, I'll show you where that comes from. So that's coming from on our events page, we have our event links, and that's what's displaying these events. If I click on this link, it's going to take us, and I'll show you the link to so it's gonna add a slug. So it's gonna be events-slug, and that's going to fire this route here, and it's going to generate the event card if it exists. And if there's no event card, it will show this message. So when I go to here in my URL, and I know it's hard to zoom in, it adds the slug, and now we're able to generate that. And this is being rendered within the index page, not index page, in the events page in the outlet. So if I delete the outlet and refresh, notice it's broken. Well, it's not broken, it's not being rendered. And so when I undo this, and now that works. And that's kind of cool. Another cool thing about Remix, and I know I want to troubleshoot my app, figure out why it doesn't work, but another cool thing here is how easily you're able to load the data. So let's go to our slugs. So we have this loader function, which actually runs on the back end, and it will get the data from the server side. This is why it's cool. And so I'm able to get access to the params. So basically what I'm doing, when you have a parameter that is being passed in the URL, I'm able to get it within this loader function. And I created this get events by slug, which is basically a function that's going to use fetch to get the data. And I kind of moved it into the API here. And if you look here, create event by slug. And basically all I'm doing is I'm calling my endpoint, querying this data from Strapi and finding by slug. And then I'm basically returning that using fetch. Yeah, and it's really similar to get server-side props. I just like it's very similar. And I like the flow. The cool thing about here is that there's some magic happens under the hood, for instance, like where I don't have to use state in some cases where I don't have to. And I'll show you that example in a second. But the cool part, it will get the data. It will, once if the data does exist, return the data. And it will only render the data when we have data. So there is no like loading initially. So if I hit refresh, right? Let me go back to events. When I click here, it just, boom. Like I don't need to like wait for state to be like, hey, if this is happening, wait for this. There's opportunity where you have to do that. But in terms of getting the data, it's just so nice. Like that's all it is. This is it. This is like, literally, this is the code. So I have the loader, which is gets the data to populate. I have catch boundary, which basically will be like, okay, if I have an error, right? If something doesn't work, this is your fallback. So if I put true here and refresh, notice that we couldn't find your page, or that's the error, like page not found, right? Or if the URL, or if the params are messed up. So that's kind of cool. So I'm gonna go back here. So I'll check if the slug exists, that means the page exists. So, I mean, if it doesn't exist, throw the not found. But if it does exist, return the data. But look how clean this looks. Like, I really like that. Like, if you take a look at here, like, look how awesome it is. You have your loader, you have your catch boundary, and then you have your event card. And the event card is, let me refresh here. This is my event card. This is the data that you're getting. And I just love how clean that looks and how awesome it looks. Now, let me add another post. Hopefully my app doesn't break. And I don't have, whatever. I'm just going to do whatever. I'll add the same. I'm going to add the same image because I don't want to look for images, whatever, submit. So here, like, there is a loading state that I have to implement because there was like a lot of waiting for you and you want to know that, oh, something's happening. So in that case, I could add a loader, and which maybe we could show you how it's done. But check this out. Do you know how, like, in React or maybe even the Next, like if you want to set selected, you see how when I switch, this changes? I should have used a different image. The cool part is, this is so cool because this is all in Strapi. If I want to like manage the data, I could go here to events. I changed this, right? I don't like this image, so let me use another image here. We need like some cute cats, right? Finish. And this is what I love about like Strapi is that I'm able to, set up an API where because it's a CMS, I'm able to manage my data as well. Hello, everyone. And I'm able to make changes with my data without like fussing and really allow me to concentrate on, building my front end. I closed the wrong one, didn't I? Nope. This one we don't need. That's the old app. Let me close this one though. This is some things I have to look at later. But for now, we're here. So if I refresh, look at that. I changed this. And I was able to do it from Strapi. Fantastic. We see the difference. But the thing that I was like saying is here, you know how in React, a lot of times you would have, okay, get the URL that you're in, like use history for a second. If that URL matches the selected thing, set selected, and you'll have some sort of state, right? Let's see how that works inside. I think that's the inside the components. I think it's event link card. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. So check this out. There's no state. Like I don't have like set state, this. I'm literally able to get the params and save it to like selected. So if the slug matches what the data slug that I'm returning, it's selected. And so I don't have to put it in state. It's like just a variable. And what's cool, when the route changes, this gets like reloaded. And so again, it like really simplifies, like, I literally have my JSX. I have getting my image URL, so it's easier to write it down here. And then selected, getting the slug. And so now, like there is no state. It's just literally re-renders the view and it sets whatever that URL. And it's so cool, like at least for me, like I'm so excited because it just allows you to write a little bit simple stuff. The one crazy thing about this is like form submission. Like here, submitting the form. This is another thing. If you've been in the React, like this is insane. Like check this out. And I'm sure I'm doing a lot of stuff wrong as well because I'm still learning. It's only been 2 weeks on render, but like I'm so like blown away by how awesome it is. So it's like my, and let me just show you the structure here. So the routes, it's like what you're going to render. So we have this one I could delete because I was just using it as an example. So we don't need it. Inside our events folder, we have our add event route. And so I am literally calling it my add event form. And then it has the action. It has the catch boundary, just in case there's some sort of error. It will return this, just like magic. And transition is kind of cool. It allows you to get like the loading state, the idle state. So if you wanted to put a loader or something like that, you could use this, but I'll talk about more. And so the data gets submitted via a normal form event. So if you take a look here, look, this is my form. There is no state. There is no, e.target equals that value. It literally maps it via the name of this was a little bit tricky to do, but what have you. But it maps it via the name. And when you hit submit, like the submit button, if you look at the form, I'm using our remix form. We have method post. And what it will do, it will fire this action. And if we take a look inside the action, this is just like a thing you have to do if you want to do multi-part requests with file upload, but that's irrelevant. But as you could see, I'm able to use this form data.get and provide the name that I used for inside my HTML form, and I'm able to get the image, the title, and I'm able to get the date, the description. And again, I'm able to pass it to my create event, which is basically a function that I created inside. I have this API folder events. So create event.server.js. And so basically I pass my data, my image. I do a multi-part post request here. And this is what saves the data to Strapi. And to me, that's like really, really, really awesome. Like, remember like all the code you had to write in React, like this is our form. Like, look, there's no state, there's no e.target equals the value, and data would be actually like, I didn't get to this part yet, but you could have a response once you submit your form. You could have something be returned to you, whatever you decide it is. I think for now it might be returning a in add event. It might be like, what am I returning? Oh no, I'm just redirecting. I'm not even returning anything, because the thing is like, if you successfully add the post, redirect to that post. So like we could take another quick look in action. So if I wanted to do new post, actually, let me do this. It's probably going to be like hard to see, but I believe there's a thing called like we're passing the transition status. Control copy. I'm gonna console log it here below the field. Oh, I have it here. And this is how you could decide, like, see what your form is doing. And let me kind of go back here, inspect. I'm gonna put it on like, so right now it's idle. I could have made this bigger. Oops, not that bigger. Make this bigger. So it's idle right now. Let me just go to the network tab. Is there like a performance or whatever? Like, my God, I keep forgetting. Where is it? Network. Throttling slow 3G. And so new test, choose a file. And by the way, like, check this out. If I click submit, it won't let me submit the form. And what's cool with Remix, you're literally able to do just your regular, HTML required, which is kind of cool. Like, it's just so nice, like so much easier. I'm sure there's like other ways of doing things, but I just like the fact that you don't have to use state all the time. Your state becomes your database, and that's cool. I spelled fool. So submit. Oh, I need to add an image. Thank you for reminding me. I'll add the same image because I don't have any others. So hit submit. So look, submitting, loading, and then boom, redirect. And you could use that transition state, and you could have something like, oh, if transition status is loading, disable the form so people can't resubmit or spam the button. That's cool. And you could like add your loader, like for instance, and we probably saw that inside the button. Let me do that again because I didn't pay attention. I'm using that transition status, checking if it's loading. If it's loading, show submitting. So let's actually pay attention to that. Add event. And I'm kind of upset that The back end works, but the front end, when I deployed it, I broke something. So this is running locally, but it is hitting the. Hey Sharon, thanks for stopping by, and we'll catch you next time. And so, yeah, Strappy backend more than Sanity. That's what I hear from a lot of people say. They say that Strappy's UI looks better. I mean, for me, like I work at Strappy now, but if you know me, I've used Strappy for as long as you guys and girls know me. It's been like forever. That's why I work at Strappy, because I really believe in the product. But I just like this idea of using a CMS and allowing you to have multiple applications being powered by one CMS. And there's like more complex things you could do. Like you could literally create a content type called pages, where you're able to create, like dynamic zones. Like you could have like a header, like you could have a body, whatever, like components that you might have in your UI. And you could not like really like a page builder, but you could dictate which component you want to render in your front end UI. So you could have multiple pages that you could call that will have different layout based on the order of the components that you predefined initially. So let's do this again, so this should be using that transition.state. We should be able to see this. It says submitting. So I didn't pay attention. Hey, choose file. Same image, why not? Submitting. So let's see. So submitting. So something's not working here. So let's figure. Let's go here. Transition. So button status. So maybe what are the statuses? So there was idle. There was. What was it? Submitting or loading? Jesus Christ. By the way, this is the cool part about Strappy. I'm like, I don't like the fact that I have too much stuff here. I don't like it. It's too many stuff, too many things. Let me go ahead and delete 6 and 7. Delete. And so I don't have like look how cool this is. Like I don't have to mess around with a database, like because it's all handled by Strappy. So now I have these 2 posts here. So again, I want to see this idle. I think that it says submitting. Let's see. I think that's why this wasn't rendering properly. So let me just do this test. Same data, submit. So it's submitting. Okay, cool. And loading, submitting and loading. So the idea is I want to disable the form when it's not loading, but when it says submitting. And then I want to do the same thing here. So if status is submitting, show this, otherwise show the regular button. So now we should be able to see those changes again. And notice how, please know how cool this is. Like, I don't have any unnecessary state in my form that I don't need. Like that's just crazy to me. Is that crazy? Let me know if that's crazy. Like, that's just crazy, crazy, crazy. And now, like, if I go back and I'll add another event, whatever, too lazy to type, same picture, because I'm too lazy to get a picture. We could change the date, whatever, that's fine. Submit. Maybe I have to refresh because let me submitting. That's spelled correctly. Submitting, transition status, submitting. Yeah, that should make sense. Maybe I had to reload it. Maybe it needs to rebuild the UI. Okay, let's try again. I'm not giving up. Okay, choose file. Oh, nice. And the reason why it went wrong is because on the back end, you cannot have duplicate slugs. And I didn't do that check yet because I'm doing everything in order, but you can't type the same thing over and over again. So it has to be different. So if I do new post, I don't think I have this. Same image, blah, 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 submitting. And so that worked. Yeah, it's interesting. The issue here, transition state. There's something oh, I'm an idiot. Do you see the difference? It's not status. And this is like interesting. Like, this is what I love about coding. There's so many like times you get into an issue because of spelling. So now it should work. But again, the point that I'm taking like forever to get to is that notice how you're not using state when you don't have to. Your state is controlled by your database. Add event, testing again, choose file, same file, open, hello, and then let's see it. Boom, submitting and redirected. That is fantastic. And if I'm like, oh man, need to manage my data. And I could, of course, create the code to be able to delete something from the front end. But the idea for this app, like what I'm looking for, this is going to be a recommend event. And for now, it's posting. But basically, people that come into the site, they'll be able to click here, and they'll be able to say recommend an event, and they'll be able to enter that event. When I click submit for now, just to test the functionality that I'm able to upload, it's loading it right away. But what I could do here is basically provide a flag here by saying like, hey, this is a recommendation and it needs to be approved. So when they hit submit, it will process the form. So I didn't add this functionality, and it will go to like Strappy under events. And I might have, actually I'll do this now. Like, I'm not gonna do the complete functionality, but to show you what I could do inside. Oh, I don't have access to the content type builder because I am in the development environment. I'll do it later, but I could add another inside events. I could add another data structure like enum, and I could have a choice like, let's say, in review or reviewed. And basically when people submit the events that they like, I could go review it. And then when I click review, they'll publish it to my thing, or however way I want to do it. Or maybe only logged in users I can't submit stuff. But I'm still working on it. But the cool part is like, this is awesome. And I mean, and submitting the form, like, look at that. There's no state to get like, yeah, it's like magic. Like, I'm not doing a value equals event.target.value, like whatever. It's just using remix magic. And when I click submit, I get this request object, which I'm like, this here is to handle, what is it called? Like multi-part upload, because I have image and stuff. And this is like a specific way you have to do this. You could read the documentation, but I'm getting access for all the items from the form here, and I'm able to write my logic. And look how this is it. This is outside, like the import statement is bigger than the actual like code that handles that logic. And I think that's kind of cool and awesome. So that works. Let me go erase all the blog posts that I don't need. And I'm very curious why this broke in production, but I'm not gonna bore you to troubleshoot it here yet. But let me go to my content manager. And remember how I was like showing you here, using one Strappy instance to power two different applications. And the other application is not done yet, but what I'm doing like kind of in parallel, for those who are interested, I'm actually building applications that's powered by the same instance of Strappy. And one application is the one that I showed you here, is going to be my events application, where you could add events and you'll be able to check events. And then for me, I'll be able to have additional functionality. But for now, I just wanted to get the basic foundation. And then I have coding after 30. And I have to fix the UI here. I'm not going to lie to you. I have this like cool filtering. You know, you could check the posts here, whatever, GraphQL, read more. And then you like have that same side menu. But here's the thing that I was telling you here. Check this out. So I have, so by the way, it's the same instance of Strappy that I'm powering two applications. But here's the cool part before I go want to show you. So check this out. I have my text. I have like my image And because this is static site generate, every time I update the database, like this would have to get rebuilt. But what I want to show you here is that inside my Strapi instance here, if you go to posts and let's go to create a new post. So we have where we could do a title, new title. Don't worry about that. We'll generate the slug. We could do description, hello. And then we could add an image. It's going to be the same image. Let's do the cat. Let's finish here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a tag. Let's say GraphQL. Okay, author Paul. Click. And before clicking save, check this out. I have this add component section. So maybe I will have like a code snippet, right? So I click code snippet, some snippet, and source is for the file that let's do JavaScript, content, test, and then I'm just gonna copy and paste some stuff here. So I have actually it's not gonna be test, it's actually gonna be my code content. So I'm able to do a little snippet here, and then I could add another component. Do you want an image? Yeah, let's add an image. Image, whatever. I'm just typing whatever. This doesn't matter. And then let's add an image of this kitten. Click finish. Height, let's do 400 by 600. And now I'm like, okay, we have code image. Let's do some markdown. This is from Markdown. And then, I want to have another code snippet, right? And I add code snippet, another snippet, whatever. And type JavaScript. And I'm just going to copy some code from here. Actually, there was this JSON file. I'm going to copy this. Control copy. I don't think I have JSON here, do I? I didn't add JSON yet, so let me pick something else here. Let's go controllers, author, no, where's event, post, controller, post, no. Just try to find like some, it doesn't really matter what example I pick. Routes, posts. It doesn't matter. I'll just pick this code here, whatever, it doesn't matter. For this example, it's just to show you like the snippets. Now, when I click save, by the way, and publish, because this is the Next.js site, unlike Remix, the Next.js website is static site generated. So it needs to be rebuilt every time I create new content. And what's awesome with Strapi, if you go into settings inside webhooks, like I have a Vercel build hook. So basically, whenever I change any content, it will fire my Vercel application and it will rebuild it and generate the content. I don't really know how long the rebuild takes, to be honest with you. But if we go back and refresh, and here's our new post. And remember how I showed you using those components within Strapi that are able to map the components that I created in the backend. So when we check the post here, some snippet, notice we have our code, we have our image, we have our markdown, and we have more code. And so now like I have flexibility of how I want to structure my content, which is kind of cool. And I'm also going to do the similar thing in my Remix, but just to kind of show you again, in the Strapi app, we had a post. We created the new post. And notice how we have different components that I created. And I have same components within my my Next.js application that will iterate through the data that's within this post. And if it's a code, I'll generate a code JSX. If it's image, it'll insert the image. If it's markdown, so it's will render it based on the data structure that I get from Strapi, which is kind of awesome because then you could actually create like layouts that are reusable that you could use. And as a content manager, you could kind of dictate like the layout, like maybe like, I want the image to be on top, right? So I'll move image to the top. I want both the code snippets to be on the bottom, markdown, click save. And again, it's going to rebuild my site, but it's going to change the order of that, which I think is pretty awesome and pretty cool. But anyway, before I get too far ahead, and it needs to rebuild, so I don't know if it's going to update it that quickly. Yeah, because it's static site generated. I wanted to do that with Next. But the thing that I was going to say is that I'm building this simple Next.js application. I have to fix the UI. And then I'm building my Remix application. And the reason I'm doing both is because, number one, I want to make sure. Hey, what's up, Mark? Mark was saying, was watching the music part, music and coding very much the same, 100%. What's up, Paul? What design looks pretty damn professional. Yeah, this particular one is because I found that Daisy UI with Tailwind makes things so much easier to do. I still have to fix stuff, but this is Remix and it's kind of neat. I like it. So what I'm doing is I'm like the create next application. This one, I have to fix the UI. It looks ugly. But what I'm doing is this project uses Next.js with GraphQL to get the data. By the way, I forgot to mention that. GraphQL, and it's static site generated, so it gets generated on build time. So whenever I change content in Strapi and it saves, we saw that I have a built webhook that hits Vercel, and Vercel will regenerate and rebuild that view. So if I think read more. So yeah, so now this is based on the changes that I did in Strapi. So it shows the image first, the markdown first, then the code snippets and cool stuff like that. So the UI here has to be fixed. I know that. I'm not worried about it right now though, because for me, it's like functionality first and then refactor and figure stuff out. And Daisy UI is so awesome. Like changing the theme on this is so like, check this out. This is why I love like Daisy UI. Watch this. This is just blew my mind because it's using Tailwind. And Daisy UI has some predefined themes. So I could go here and literally, I have someone, I like Dracula. Everybody loves Dracula, right? Tell me you love Dracula. Everybody loves Dracula. And so literally within the data theme here, I'm going to switch to Dracula and check this out. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. I love the theming with Tailwind, Daisy UI. It is so freaking cool. It's so freaking cool. Okay, maybe we don't want Dracula. We want Halloween. Let's do Halloween. And that's so, like with Daisy UI, you could, like, I'm trying to figure out what's a good stack for me that allows me to, like, cause maybe I want to make some small business website. What will allow me to do that super quickly where a customer is able to manage their own data? And it's like either Remix or Next.js. It's Tailwind with Daisy UI because you have like cool theming. See components, you have different components. And like I said before, like synthwave, that looks cool, garden, fantasy, and it's so awesome. And what's also cool here, you're able to, like, you could pick stuff specifically that you want, and it's using the themes in Daisy UI, and you make this change in Tailwind config.js. But this is so awesome how easily you're able to like create like cool colors or themes or like what have you. And this is so awesome. So like I'm definitely like in love with Acid. That looks interesting. Coffee night. And what I love about Daisy UI, it's whenever you pick a theme, it will show you what that theme would look like in its documentation, which I like that extra stuff. Valentine looks cool. So like I want to use Valentine, like check this out. I just change it here. If I spell it right. Is that how you spell Valentine? We'll find out. Let's go here. Boom. Oh my God. I love how this looks. This is so cool. And So I'm basically trying to figure out what would be like a good like things that I like to use. So for me, it's Next.js Remix. Look, Mark Tejes, you got me. I am no longer using Create React app. Thank you. It took a year, but whatever. And basically, it's either Remix or Next.js using, Tailwind and the power of Daisy UI, because I just love how it looks. It's pretty awesome. And you saw how easily you're able to change themes. And yeah, 100%, don't sweat the UI before things actually work. And I'm like a really big proponent of that. And this is why I love Tailwind. And now that I discovered Daisy UI is that like once stuff works, just do some basic theming. And interesting thing, by the way, if you find other templates that use Tailwind, you could literally copy and paste the HTML and change it to JSX. And unless they have like custom like classes or whatever, like it'll work most of the time, which is kind of cool, like borrowing code, if you will, I feel like. But yeah, this is like pretty neat and I like it. And I will make the same updates in this application too, to make it, because I started this with Daisy UI before I understood how Daisy UI works. Like here, apparently, like I have a better understanding of how Daisy UI works. So it looks nice. But one thing that I was like showing you with Remix is, the nested routing is cool. And the fact that add event, like check this out. So we have an action basically, which will handle your form submission, right? And both the action it actually runs on the back end, which is kind of cool. And you have access to the request. Where does the request comes from? It literally comes from your form. Now, when we go inside the form data, I'll show it again. Notice how I don't have any state, either target.value, whatever equals. Basically, it's just like the old school PHP form submission where you just need the name, right? The name of the things that you want and the date, and then when you hit submit, it literally does the old school. I mean, their Remix is doing some crazy magic and it will submit the form. And so I will have, this is like for multi-part data because I'm saving an image, but I literally able to use the form data. I get this method get, where I'm able to get the image, the title, and this is basically the name that I provided. So this image is like, this is the connection, right? The name, image, this is how it's looking, the data from the form. And what's awesome, it's like you just have a cleaner UI. You're not overusing state where you don't need to. Obviously, there are certain things and components that you have to do and use state. Maybe you'll have like a modal that opens up or what have you. But the fact that you could avoid using state where you don't really need to, that's kind of cool. And I like the fact that you could have these like functions that call your API that also runs on the server. And it's just like really, really cool. And so I'm going to keep working on this project. I think it's going to be fantastic. And like, even like this is just a variable, that, to which I'm able to set, okay, does this URL match what is being returned from the database here? If so, it must be selected. And so, like, I know I showed this before, but if you go to components, event link card. So yeah, here it is. Like, I don't have like set state and blah, blah, blah is selected, use whatever. I just like do, use params, check the slug. This right here basically grabs this, right? And then here, this is coming from my database. And so it's checking if the URL slug matches the slug from the database, then that thing must be selected. So go ahead and render this whatever thing. And so that's how this works. And that's kind of, it's cool, right? It's cool. I need to change the hover cover to something different because it looks confusing. But this is awesome. And so I've really been digging like Remix, but I think like my main objective is going to be just really focus on Next.js and Remix and Strappy and Koa for like backend development, I think, and TypeScript. That's going to be my focus for 2023 and the end of 2022. And I hope you enjoyed Daisy UI. I think it's kind of cool. So easy to change themes. Night kind of looks cool. Let me do that. Go to dark mode. Yeah, so this is like I've been like really loving Next.js. It's definitely going to be like something that I want to get better. But so I'm doing like 70% Next, and then I'm doing like 30% Remix because it's fairly new, but I think it's really awesome. I saw some like really cool things people could do. And if you wanted to set up, let's say, small business websites, there's obviously many ways of doing it. I'm not saying that there are some ways better than night. Boom, look at that, change the theme and it looks beautiful. Yeah, and so there's many ways of doing things, but the one thing that I would say, what I like about it is coming up with a stack because like, I want to create something that will allow someone who's starting out in development to have a way where they could use, let's say, power of a CMS. Doesn't even have to be Strappy, and either Next.js with Tailwind and Daisy UI or Remix Tailwind and Daisy UI to be able to create applications that you could literally do, especially if you have some templates from Tailwind, like in a weekend or a week, whatever it is, and create these small business websites like for coffee shops, dentists, what have you, where people will be able to, through, let's say, Strappy, where I go, Strappy UI, they'll be able to go ahead and manage their data, so like, I don't like this image. Let's delete it. Let's put another image here. Let's do this one. Finish, save, and then I go back. So like imagine I'm a customer. I have this access to this back end. And when I make changes there, right, look, I refresh, check this out. It made those changes. And that's kind of cool. So you're able to create these cool websites for your customers, like super fast, super quickly, and get stuff done. But anyway, I think like I didn't mean on streaming today. That's why it doesn't have like the card or like it was like an impromptu stream. And if you didn't see the beginning of it, I did some music stuff, which was kind of exciting. I'm trying to get better. I suck. I didn't really do too much cool music stuff. And then I decided, you know what? Let's take a look at Remix. Let's talk about like what we're doing. And this is something that I've been obsessing about. And so we did that. We took a look at it. Tomorrow, I'm streaming 11 a.m. Central Time. Going to talk about learning coding, best ways to study. I'm going to have Elvin jumping in. It's going to be awesome. And, Mark, I got to get you to come on and chat with me on a Saturday or something. Because Friday nights, nobody watches streams Friday night. I just, like the hardcore people that come was great to see you. But if no one makes it to Friday night, I don't care. Because you probably should be hanging out with your family. This is what I do, just chill and play with code when I can. But with that being said, like, thank you so much. It was a lot of fun hanging out with all of you. It was like an impromptu stream, like, because I did say, oh, I'm not going to stream today. I'm a big baby. And then I was like, you know what? Like, let me have fun. We played some music, right? We played some music. It was good times. It was bad music, but we did it. And then we got to chat code and talk code. So it was really awesome. And thanks so much, everybody. And have a great weekend. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.